8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. The President says the discussions with the IMF, which had been disrupted, would be finalized once there is a political stability in the country. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana says that the party took into consideration the political experience of Ranil Wickremesinghe when he was elected as the president. The price of auto diesel reduced by 10 rupees with effect from 10 p.m. today. The duration to accept applications for the 2022 Grade 5 scholarship examination has been extended. In foreign news, first grain ship leaves under Russia deal. And in sports, teen weightlifter brings gold and joy to India. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says the discussions with the IMF, which had been disrupted, would be finalized once there is political stability in the country. In an interview with a foreign newspaper, he said the Sri Lankan government is to have certain agreements with the IMF by the end of this month. The economic situation in the country is at its lowest level at present. However, it can be brought back to normal if there is political stability in the country. Parliamentarian of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana, Sanjeeva Edirimane, says that the party took into consideration the political experience of Ranil Wickremesinghe when he was elected as the president. President Wickremesinghe is a person with a wide range of international relations. At a press briefing held in Colombo, MP Edirimane said that he believes that President Ranil Wickremesinghe will be able to maintain law and order and to find solutions to the present economic and social crisis. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation has reduced the price of auto diesel by 10 rupees with effect from 10 p.m. tonight. Accordingly, the new price of a litre of auto diesel will be 430 rupees. However, the price of all other fuel products will remain unchanged, the CPC said. The fuel prices were expected to be revised today in line with the fuel pricing formula. CPETCO further says that it is mandatory for all filling stations to only issue fuel through the National Fuel Pass, also known as the QR code system, already introduced by the Ministry of Power and Energy. Meanwhile, people say that the QR system is more flexible and a solution for motorists as it has already led to the reduction of long queues at filling stations. They request the government to maintain this system continuously in a more productive manner. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with local news. The duration to accept applications for the 2022 Grade 5 scholarship examination has been extended. Examinations Commissioner General LMTD Dharmasena said applications will accordingly be accepted till the 7th of August. Further details can be obtained by dialing the hotline number 1911. Meanwhile, the closing date for accepting applications for Grade 1 admissions in government schools will be on the 15th of this month. SSP Kandy Chamil Krishanta Ratnayaka says that about 5,000 police officers have been deployed for the security of the people who will be viewing the Kandy Asala Perahara. The STF and the Army have also been scheduled for duty to assist the police. The SSP requests the general public who will visit Kandy during the Perahara season to adhere to all the health guidelines issued by the health authorities.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Director of Cell Biology Unit of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, Dr. Chandiba Jeevandara says that the new Omicron BA.5 subvariant of COVID-19 coronavirus is spreading rapidly across the country. Dr. Jeevandara said the world is experiencing one of the largest COVID waves of the pandemic, and it is fueled by the Omicron BA.5 subvariant. The new BA.5 subvariant is the most contagious and most immune-evasive coronavirus strain and spreading at a faster rate than the variants reported so far. Dr. Jeevandara said that this variant has spread throughout the country, and if the health advice against COVID is not followed, there's a risk of the virus spreading further.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
We take a look at Watchlight. The Information and Communication Technology Agency said the National Fuel Pass has surpassed 5 million registrations as of today. ICTA said that the National Fuel Pass is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Power and Energy, ICTA, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, Indian Oil, and 2 leading tech companies in Sri Lanka. That was Watchlight. Now we take a look at world news. First, the headlines. First grain ship leaves under Russia deal. Myanmar military extends emergency rule until 2023, and Brazil confirms first monkeypox-related death. The first ship carrying grain has left a Ukrainian port under a landmark deal with Russia. Turkish and Ukrainian officials said the ship left the southern port of Odessa early today, local time. Russia has been blockading Ukrainian ports since February, but the two sides made a deal to resume shipments. It is hoped the agreement will ease the global food crisis and lower the price of grain. Turkey said the Sierra Leone flagged vessel, Razoni, would dock at the port of Tripoli in Lebanon. Adding further, the shipments were planned over the coming weeks. Myanmar's military regime has extended its emergency rule until 2023 as the country remains riven by internal fighting following last year's coup. The junta seized power last year after overthrowing Aung San Suu Kyi's democratically elected government. The military has promised to hold free and fair elections in the future, but today it said it needed more time to stabilize the country. Emergency rule gives it more powers to detain people. Many in Myanmar are skeptical the military will hold multi-party elections or transfer state power to an elected government. Brazil on Friday confirmed the country's first monkeypox-related death. The case was reported in Belo Horizonte, capital of the southeast Minas Gerais state, and the victim was a 41-year-old man who was undergoing treatment for other serious clinical conditions, including cancer. The whole health deteriorated after getting infected, the ministry said. The man, whose name was not released, was admitted to a public hospital in Belo Horizonte, where he suffered septic shock aggravated by monkeypox. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. First grain ship leaves under Russia deal. Myanmar military extends emergency rule until 2023, and Brazil confirms monkeypox-related death. That ends this bulletin of world news. On to development news. The Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority says the number of foreign tourists coming to Sri Lanka is gradually increasing. SLTDA Director General Dhammika Wijayasinghe said nearly 43,000 foreign tourists have visited Sri Lanka in July. The official said there is already a system in place to provide fuel for the vehicles that transport foreign tourists coming to Sri Lanka, as well as for the electricity generators at tourist hotels and other needs. Accordingly, the Director General of the Tourism Development Authority, Dhammika Wijayasinghe, further said arrival of tourists is expected to continue to grow during this month.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
An Indian teen weightlifter battled muscle cramps to break 2 records and win gold at the 2022 Commonwealth Games. Jeremy Larinunga's win gave India its 5th medal and 2nd gold at the Birmingham Games. The 19-year-old hails from the northeastern Indian state of Mizoram and was participating in the men's 67 kilograms weightlifting final yesterday. That was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSP U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Expo Lanka Holdings PLC, Sri Lanka's leading listed entity with interests in logistics, leisure and investments, have a global presence in 34 countries and over 70 cities, announced their financial performance for the quarter ending 30th June 2022, presenting strong results while maintaining its growth momentum over the last several years. Backed by strong strategy, execution and focus on fundamentals, Expo Lanka Holdings PLC was able to post a revenue of 235.1 billion rupees, a gross profit of 36.9 billion and a profit after tax of 20.1 billion rupees for the quarter. That was business news. Up next is economic news.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSP U Trust.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has warned of stern action against market players who fail to fully comply with foreign exchange regulations. Issuing a statement, CBSL said that the bank and the government have been implementing several measures to ease the burden of the current economic hardships of the people. One major factor that is contributing to the current crisis and the resultant hardships is a lack of foreign exchange liquidity in the banking system. Such shortage of forex liquidity has affected the provision of essential imports, including fuel. And finally, we take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says showery and windy conditions are likely to enhance in the western and southern sea areas and over the southwest quarter of the island during the next few days from today, with the strengthening of the southwest monsoon. Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, northern and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Mathura districts. Heavy falls above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places. Showers or thundershowers may occur at several places in the Uva province and in the Ampara district during the afternoon or at night. Strong winds, about 50 kilometers per hour, can be expected at times along the western slopes of the Central Hills and in the western and southern provinces. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The President says the discussions with the IMF, which had been disrupted, would be finalized once there is political stability in the country. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna says that the party took into consideration the political experience of Ranil Wickremesinghe when he was elected as the President. The price of auto diesel is reduced by 10 rupees with effect from 10 p.m. tonight. The duration to accept applications for the 2022 Grade 5 scholarship examination has been extended. In foreign news, first grain ship leaves under Russian deal, and in sports news, teen weightlifter brings gold and joy to India. That ends tonight's news broadcast.